Kenya has a very large area of potential forest, but over the last 2-3 decades, much forest, especially indigenous forest, has been degraded and converted to other forms of land use. And indigenous forests are very important to local people. And Oloolua represents that, albeit a fairly small fragment of what was a much larger forest.
Oloolua Forest is found right on the edge of Karen. You can also access it from the Bulbul side. It forms part of the Lungs of Nairobi,
The capital city of Kenya, population 4 to 5 million people, and we are increasingly understanding the importance of green spaces to cities.
I spend a lot of time here in the forest with my dogs. It's an amazing place. There are very many trees that I've come to discover in this forest, very many old trees, like this old Mutamayo, an African olive.
Oloolua Forest, being an urban forest, is still quite unique because not only do people use it for recreation and as a green space, but it actually supports the livelihoods of quite a few communities living around it.
Oloolua faces a number of general threats, which are threats to many forests in Kenya, but it also faces threats that are more particular to an urban forest.
It became apparent that KFS had challenges in protecting and conserving of this forest. And due to the nature of this forest, we've got a lot of pressure from the community, some who get into the forest to do some illegal activities like tree cutting, also dumping of a lot of waste. So it came to our attention that there was a lot of development coming around us as well. We saw the coming of the SGR, where the community started lobbying that the SGR should not necessarily pass through the forest. However, the government pushed the project and went through the forest, even fragmenting the forest even further. We got almost like 247 square hectares that needs to be rehabilitated. And once we noticed that, we started lobbying and started picketing and calling the community together.
The importance of Oloolua Forest is that it is a forest that is conserved by the Community Forest Association with the support of the KFS and the support of many groups of people in Oloolua, including the Friends of Oloolua Forest. So it is actually a really joint effort.
We are collaborating with Friends of Oloolua so that we can keep it conserved, because it is a livelihood for so many people around here. We want to conserve the forest so that it can be able to be there for posterity. It can be able to help farmers and other people who are around.
So my bees generally forage in the forest, and this is Oloolua Forest, and I'm urging everyone to please be mindful about it and stop deforestation, because we all depend on it in one way or another.
Recently we have formed what we are calling a community-based organization named Friends of Oloolua Forest. We have the Community Forest Association, and we have seen it fit that all those who care for conservation work to help this Community Forest Association to do 3 very important things: to conserve, to rehabilitate what has been destroyed so far, and to reconnect, because we have had a lot of devastation of our Oloolua forest. The idea of the community-based organization that we are calling the Friends of Oloolua Forest is to galvanize, to get those people who care about the forest, who care about conservation, joining the association. So far, after just 3 months since we formed, we have managed to raise enough money to buy uniforms for about 20 scouts who are already doing a very good job to stop dumping in the forest and cutting of trees. We want this to be something permanent and enhanced so that we don't lose another tree.
Well, the Friends of Oloolua Forest really depends on the resourcing it has at its disposal. And when we talk of resourcing, we mean the volunteers, the people coming around to help proactively take part in its work, but also the financial resources to make things happen. So what we're calling for is all the communities around Oloolua Forest to come together, work towards this, believe in it, make it part of them, something they're part of, and help resource and finance it and be proactive in undertaking programs of work so that we actually deliver the kind of impact we want for Oloolua Forest.
We want to see the number of trees increasing every year. We want to preserve this last lung of Nairobi West and to make it healthier and ensure that it will never go. It will be here for generations to come.
Songa.